about a month ago, I received an email from a girl, not like that. Basically, something had happened, and it happened local to me and to where I was traveling around in. So they had seen my videos on YouTube, got in contact with me. This is the email that I got. So basically, her boyfriend lives in Hillsborough. Yesterday, at the time, they were driving down the Lisburn Drumore area, the I1, just before the Apple, or just after the Apple Greens. When he went to pull into the dual carriageway, there was a motorcyclist in the fast lane. I'm reading this word for word. There was a motorcyclist in the fast lane. Bear in mind, there was a good gap between them, but admittedly it was a little hasty of them to pull out. He realised himself and the motorcyclist sped up behind us, beeped his horn profusely. My boyfriend pulled into the slow lane, as a car driver would do. Yeah, beeped his horn, pulled into the slow lane, and the motorcyclist was shouting to indicating to them to pull over. So, number one, if you're in a car and that happens, never pull over. We were both apologising through the window, but he insisted we pull over, and then pulled in front of us and brake checked them several times until we were stopped. We pulled into the hard shoulder on the A1 in front of him. My boyfriend rolled down his window and we both apologised over and over, and the motorcyclist was screaming, you silly C words, and punched her boyfriend in the face and kicked the wing mirror off the car. Jumped out of the car to try and grab him, but he got hit on his bike and sped off again. I don't have a great sight, so I could not make out his license plate. My boyfriend was completely stunned, so couldn't make it out either. The police were informed, but obviously because there's no license plate, they can't do anything. It is a long shot. She said it was a long shot, and she knows that this one incident isn't a reflection on the biking community. The guy was obviously a biker. Bulky black bike, could have been anything. Black gear with neon areas on the jacket. Late 30s to 40s. Strong, almost Scottish accent with blue eyes. It is, I should keep saying, it is a long shot. So I have been on that part of the road before, and it is a bit of a pissy area because, and you all know it yourselves, is you travel fast on that part of the road. It's a 60, if I remember correctly, coming into that last right hand before the garage heading towards Belfast. It is a 60-mile-an-hour area, so there is a high chance that the biker was wrong, but they're also saying that they could have probably waited, which is it's an acceptable thing to say. To be fair, I've been in that situation. I've never asked anybody to pull over, and I'll never ask them to wind their window down. This person is a member of the biking community. Well, this person on a motorcycle is probably one of those guys who thinks he's Jack the Lad on a bike. I basically replied saying, don't be taking this as serious and all this here as possible. But apparently the guy who was driving the car ended up with a broken nose and black eye. Why did it have to come to that? Why don't you do what every other motorcyclist does? Yell, shout and complain and then drive on. I wholeheartedly know, yes, they are young drivers in the car, and 30 to 40 year old biker probably ripping the piss out of himself up the road. What was the need? Personally, I don't see a need for it. Personally, I think the biker's in the wrong. He shouldn't have done that. That's assault. That's criminal damage. You'll all argue, but the car, but what? Unless it is justified, unless that person has clipped you or done something, yes, take it as far, stop. But if you haven't got the guts after punching someone to wave down a peeler or wait for a peeler to come, why do it? You did that for a reason. It's the Scottish accent bit that gets me, is that this guy probably was over here for a weekend. Probably not, but there's a high likely that he was heading back to Belfast to get the boat. I personally got ripped to shreds on Facebook because I went looking, because that's not the way you get on. I went looking, and it was nothing but, oh, the car driver, the car driver, the car driver. If you have to make an excuse up for to hit someone and then cause criminal damage, then you're the one at fault. You know, I could go out today and have a 50-50 with a car, and in this guy's head, that's the car driver's fault, that's not his fault. I get it. Motorbikes are vulnerable road users. I can guarantee that he was not following the speed limit in the first place, and that corner is lethal. It catches up with you. That catches up with you as the rider, and catches up with a car that's trying to get back into the lane. For me, the girl and her boyfriend, they shouldn't have pulled over. They shouldn't have. Pure and simple. Phone the police. You're not safe. Phone the police. It is a hard one, but to take it to that extent it's silly. You're giving people like myself and the hundreds, maybe thousands of other bikers in the country a bad name for you getting out of control. Yes, the car pulled out. Yes, you could have honked and beeped and brake checked all you wanted, but that's it. Carry on. You're still on two wheels and you're still moving. You made a point in trying to make an example, but then you get scared and run off because the police were coming. Personally, that you're not a biker. You're a person who owns a motorbike. It's definitely not a biker. Let me know, especially with this case. I get the car driver's perspective, I get the motorcyclist's perspective, but I'm finding it hard to be on the motorbike side. Young drivers, they're young drivers, they're going to be cocky and do stuff, but why do you feel the need to do that? It's not going to teach them a lesson. It's going to make them run away from people like me when I'm on the bike. You know, I'd actually said to them to keep me updated. I tried to lurk and there was no hope. But let me know what you think, because obviously there's an image that bikers seem to need to keep, that it's always the car's fault. If you're doing over the speed limit and a car pulls out in front of you, you're as bad as the car. It's clear and simple. I know most of you won't like this video because obviously it's not on a bike, but my GoPro is on a bike. Let me know in the comment section down below. I really want to know about this one because, as I say, I don't trust a biker in this situation. I don't want to give him any sympathy. He was in the wrong, clear and simple. I understand that you're all bikers watching this, but take into consideration, young driver, you don't go and physically abuse someone and punch their car out. Let me know. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you want. If this video doesn't suit you, I understand the thumbs down. That's totally up to you. But in this case, I'm sorry, but biker definitely in the wrong in this situation, and not because it was young driver, it's because he was just being a meathead. But let's talk about it down below, because as I say, I'm trying to figure it out in my own head.
Incoming!